Hi there, I'm Alicia Malone, and thanks for spending part of your afternoon with us. Up next here on TCM, class is in session. We have a drama set in an inner city high school and based on an Evan Hunter novel published just a year before the movie's release. From MGM in 1955, it's Blackboard Jungle. The film stars Glenn Ford as a military veteran who gets much more than he bargained for when he's hired as an English teacher at a school with some unruly and sometimes dangerous teenagers. The story was adapted for the screen and directed by Richard Brooks and was one of many socially conscious films released at the time, many of which were targeted to a younger audience. These movies were much more realistic and sometimes violent in their depiction of these juvenile delinquents. Other examples include Rebel Without a Cause and The Wild One. Blackboard Jungle provided an early screen role for Sidney Poitier, who plays one of the students. He was in his mid-20s at the time, so initially the casting director thought he was too old for the part. That makes sense, but he asked Poitier to come by his office and drop off a list of prospective young actors who might be a good fit instead. Once Poitier was there, though, the casting director told him it was all a ruse. He just wanted to get a look at Poitier in person. He liked what he saw, and after a screen test for producer Pandro S. Berman and director Richard Brooks, he got the part. There were a number of other newcomers in the cast: Vic Morrow, Paul Mazursky, and Jamie Farr, along with Hollywood veterans such as Louis Calhern and John Hoyt. And the film starts with a bang, featuring the song by Bill Haley and his Comets that has become a classic, Rock Around the Clock. From 1955, here's Blackboard Jungle. Blackboard Jungle was based on the 1954 novel by Evan Hunter. It's a book he wrote following a very short stint as a teacher himself at the Bronx Vocational High School in New York. But Hunter was disillusioned by the experience and only lasted a few months. After writing his draft of the book, the author gave MGM a galley of it, and the studio bought the movie rights before the book was even published. The ending for the film does differ from that of Hunter's novel. As we just saw, Glenn Ford's teacher is able to finally get through to Sidney Poitier's character, stands up to the delinquent ringleader played by Vic Morrow, and gains the respect of the students. In the book, the ending was much more ambiguous, with the conflict unresolved. Yet, despite that happier Hollywood ending here, the film had a huge impact. Up next, we're going to stay in New York, but this time for a lively romantic comedy starring Jane Fonda, Rod Taylor, and Cliff Robertson.
Next on TCM, Sunday in New York. Then, what's up, Doc? And later, how to succeed in business without really trying. TCM goes through the motions today.